Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back for us and you guys. It's been a while.
It's been a few months.
Yeah. But we have kind of a new set. I'm sure this won't look that different for most of you. We're a little more zoomed in, but we have a really cute setup here. And then I've set up my YouTube set next to it. So it's a really cool basement area we have now.
And why do we have the basement area, Meg?
Because my brother and his wife moved out.
Yes. Yeah. For 1 week now.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's such a mix of emotions because obviously it's nice to have this area to film, but it's more sad that they're gone.
I agree, and I think it's an adjustment. Like, we're pretty close family, so
very close. Yeah,
we like hang out all the time. We watch shows together. We play games. Like, we're very close, and so it's been a huge adjustment period. And I mean, they moved out on a Saturday. They were already back on the Sunday to watch the Oscars, and they're back Wednesday to watch Survivor. So I mean, they're pretty close. They're only like 15 minutes away, so it's gonna be fine. It's just an adjustment period.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. And I'm 27 years old, and I'm like sad about this, and I'm thinking a lot of people move out way younger. So 100%. I'm lucky with how much time we've all had.
I always think of that together. Too. Like with the pandemic and stuff, we had even more time, and but the problem they made is they, for some reason, they shared their location with me, and that is a mistake. I never thought of myself as a stalker, and now I find myself all the time like, oh, where are they? And then I picked up your brother yesterday for work, and I was like, so what'd you do last night? And he's like, do you already know? And I'm like, no, I don't know you were at IKEA. Yeah,
that's so amazing.
Yeah, I know. I think it'll teeter out. I think it's just a transition time.
Yeah.
And they offered it, or they sent it to me. So
their locations?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an adjustment period. Change is always weird no matter what.
I think it's good for them too, right?
Yeah, and their new apartment is so cute, and we had like my brother's friends were here helping them move, so it was like, and we love them, right? Like we probably talked about this in an episode. They came to the cottage with us.
They're really like an amazingly wonderful group of men that I've had the witness of watching them grow since some of them since kindergarten, and Jack has stayed tight with them, and his whole wedding party, they're just really incredible guys. And
they all really showed up and helped, and it was awesome. We all got pizza because that's what you do when you move. It's always pizza.
It's always pizza.
So it was a really fun day, and honestly it didn't take that long. By 2:30 we were done.
Yeah, and I think we went and picked up the U-Haul for 10, I think. So
yeah, it wasn't too bad. There was a lot of us, so
yeah. And they were somewhat organized. Like, there were some things they just were in, like, just baskets. And anyways, they were, for the most part, pretty organized too. They had boxes and they had stuff. So yeah, it was fun. It was good. It's, it's time for everybody to fly the nest. What is it? Fly the coop.
Leave the nest?
Leave the nest?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm here in a onesie today for those of you who aren't watching, because I just need to be cozy. I've recently gotten a full-time job.
She's in the corporate world now.
And it's horrific. Like, I'm so grateful to have a job because I was so broke, and now like I actually work and I can fund my EP, which is almost done, and I can travel more and do stuff I want, but it's like, at what cost? This is so rough out here.
Yeah, it's funny watching, not funny, but seeing the progression of how it started. The first couple of days were like, oh, this is so fun. I meet new people. It's so you're like, I'm learning so much. And you were so like, you were excited. You were like, this is great, because you were really looking for a job, and then
I got
found
one like
in your field.
Yeah.
So you were like, yes, this is like so great. And then by about day 6 or 7,
I was gonna say 3.
Yeah, it's like you started hearing a bit of the rumblings of like, so I go every day, and I'm like, yeah, that is how jobs work.
And I think I'm even more fortunate because I don't even have like a Monday to Friday schedule, so I'll have like a day off in the middle of the week and the weekend, so it breaks up the week nicely, and the times change.
Yes.
Actual shifts, they could be 11 to 7 or 1 to 9, so even that's nice, so it's not like the same thing every day.
Yeah.
But it's
a grind for this one, but we really were thinking, and you were like, you've never had a job like this.
No, I never have, because even when I've worked at like gyms or restaurants, I never did full time. and you couldn't even really do full time. Like at the gym, you could do like a 5 to 9 or a 4 to 10 shift. So there weren't even 8-hour shifts available. And yeah, other jobs I was a hostess, so you're kind of just there when it's busy, and then they send you home when it's late or before it's too late. So yeah, I've never had a job like this, and anytime I have, like, my performing job is the same amount of hours, but I don't feel like I'm at work because I love that job. I perform, I hang out with my friends, and then money's in my bank, and I'm like, oh my god, I got paid to do that. So that's been my life.
You quite liked it.
Yeah. And like things,
but you never took it for granted either.
No, I started there when I was 16, and I never took that job for granted. And a lot of people that worked for that company are like, how are you so positive about it? And I'm like, because I know how good I have it here. And I think a lot of people that complained about the money or about the job, I'm like, they just haven't worked any other job. Like, try being a cashier or being in retail or being a nurse, like anything. Literally anything else is so difficult. And I'm complaining because I have to get on stage a few times a day. Like, I have time in between my shows to do YouTube and school, and so that's like a big problem I'm running into, is working full time. I've not done school in like 2 weeks probably since I started, and I just don't want to. I also learned so much at work that, like, I don't want to come home and do school and learn more. My brain is fried by the end of the day, and it's good. I'm learning a lot, but it's just not performing, that's for sure.
The only one positive I find in it is that she now understands, like, when I come home on a Friday and I'm like tired, and she's like, let's go do, like, you know, before in the past, not now, but like, you'd always be like, let's go do something, and I'd be like, I'm so tired, like, I just need a day to do nothing. But then it's like your only day off, so it's like you don't want to get into that cycle. Like, you want to push yourself to be like, I have to do something, right?
Yeah.
Because it can't just be work and then your days off, you're getting set up to work the next week, right? Which is sometimes how it feels when you work a Monday to Friday job. It's like, okay, Saturday you're tired, but you have like, I got to clean the house, or I got to grocery shop, or I have to do that. And then Sunday it's like, okay, I guess I'm going back to work tomorrow. Like, it just, it's the 3-day week would be, 3-day week, 3-day weekend would be pretty ideal.
Yeah, and I think we just live in such a Western grind mindset here in Canada, and we don't live right, because other countries have got it going on. And like, even Swiss man, I don't think I say his name in this podcast. I think I always say Swiss man. Yeah. He just left to Thailand for a month, and he's like, you can't just leave your job. Like, I don't even think he asked for the time off. He was just like, I'm going. And he's gone now for a month, and he lived in Tulum for 4 months, and he's like, well, yeah, I would just go back to my job. And I was like, I wouldn't have a job to go back to if I took 4 months off. No. Or even a month, even 2 weeks. Yeah. A week is like even pushing it. Like, it's just not a thing here. And he said, like, they do have quite a grind culture there in Switzerland, but it's still like, I think they do in terms of how many hours you work and the types of jobs, but like, vacation is still very different there.
Well, they value the work-life balance. And I don't think we do that as well here. I'm not saying we don't do it. We just don't do it as well. Like, when I went to Germany years ago, we were, we'd visit a little town. It'd be 2 p.m, and it's packed, and everyone's out having a drink, and they're socializing, and they're communicating with each other. And I feel like that is definitely what's lacking, is the sense of community that, needs to kind of come back, because you can't just like go to work, see your work people, that's fine, but then you're coming home and like, there's no, what are you doing in your community of just like sitting and chatting and just seeing how everyone's doing, and just,
It's so capitalism, especially because you see videos about this all the time where people say, like, if we're all separate, they can make more money off of us, because if you need sugar or toilet paper or something, a lot of the times in the past, people would go to their neighbors, people shared. Now, if we all need to buy those things, the companies make more money. Yeah. And the more separate we are. But also, like, Canada is very spacious, so everything, like, our towns are very spread out, whereas when you're in Europe, like, the countries are a lot smaller. Like, when I went to the UK recently, we Googled it, and I think you can fit the entirety of the UK into, like, no, sorry, Ontario is 4 times the size of all of the UK. Right. So, like, even like, their countries have to kind of be more compact because they're just not as big. Yeah. And they're obviously built much longer ago in the past than Canada. But like, you can just kind of all be out and social, because like when you live in the suburbs, that's just not a thing that you can really do.
No,
but sure. I guess that's also like if you lived in rural England, you'd have the same problem where you don't have as much community. Maybe if you're all like spread out.
You're all spread out. Yeah.
It's kind of more of a city thing that I think you have that community, but maybe picking the right city is where it's at.
Yeah. I know, like, if I have, like, I go to book club once a month, and I know if there's, you know, those days when you're just like, oh, I just feel like staying at home. But then when you push through and you go, and I always come back invigorated, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see me, like, sometimes I can't fall asleep because I'm just like, I feel like I've been stimulated, like, intellectually. It's fun being around my old friends. Like, you know, these are all old coworkers. And so it's nice to see everyone and see what everyone's up to. And like, oh, I'm going on a trip, or, oh, this happened. Like, it's just like, you know, like, I think there needs to be more of that, because I think it brings you back to life, kind of, right?
It does. And they even realized, I think, during the pandemic that people were actually more productive with less work hours. And like you say, and I hear this with all different kinds of jobs. I just saw an office worker say that, like, I actually am finished most of my work by noon. Yeah. Then what? Why do I have to wait here until 4 or 5 o'clock? That just doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I think maybe other countries do
my
that.
job is like that. Like, sometimes I'm like really, really busy. Like, the last semester was really, really hard and a lot for me. And I was busy from the minute I got there to the minute I left. This semester is definitely an easier in the way of, it's still a lot of work, but it's a different kind of work. So I can get it done a little bit faster. And then I sit there and I'm playing like connections and stuff. And it's like, but I could be at home. Like, I would rather be at home. Yeah, but I mean, I'm still getting my work done. That's still a priority. I would never not do my work. Like, I would never leave early if my work, you know, like, it's.
Yeah, and that makes sense though, right? Because they want to burn you out, because then you just consume, or, you know, don't have time to pursue your other hobbies because they don't really want you to. Like, if you got really good at a craft and started making money on Etsy, like, they want to profit off of every minute of your life. Yeah. And it's so funny how we all just kind of like continue on with it. Like, when I went down to Jesse's the other day, I went on the subway. It was such a horrific travel experience. So many things went wrong. And like, I really like taking public transit to his place because I don't like driving on the 401 and I just hate city traffic. And then I always leave his house between 3 and 5 o'clock, which is the worst time you can be driving because of rush hours. So anyways, I was just looking around on the subway and like the vibes were so low, and I don't know. And I don't know what the answer is, because it's not like we all need to be talking 24/7, but everyone's in their own world.
Well, everyone has headphones in and they're just listening to their music or podcasts or on their phone or whatever, right? But everyone's like, oh, since phones, but it's not really. Like, I know they took a picture of this train station where everyone was staring at their phone, but then they had one from like 100 years ago. Everyone was staring at a newspaper. So it's like, I don't necessarily think that's the root cause is phones.
And I think like, because who wants to talk to people? Like, if anyone tries to talk to me in the first hour I'm awake, I'm like, no, this is not a thing. So like,
you're like your dad in that way, and I'm a little bit opposite. I'm like, woo, let's go. But then by the end of the day, by like 4 o'clock, I'm like, I'm winding down. Like, I'm like, I need zombie time. I need TV. I need like, right.
And usually people say that midday crash always hits, and I never have that. I don't feel that at all. But maybe that's like the training of my job. Because 3 o'clock was only like my halfway point of the day. Yeah. So for me, it's not like a crash out. Whereas most people, that's when they get home and they're kind of like, oh, that was a long day. I need to, you know, make dinner and whatnot. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's not like I don't have energy in the morning. I just don't want to talk to anybody.
No, and that's totally fair. Yeah.
Until I have coffee.
I know, the coffee people.
Yeah. That's my dream in life, is to have a really nice coffee set up, like Jesse's in his new house. Yeah. Oh my God.
His house is so nice.
His house is gorgeous. Like, you wouldn't even feel like you're in the city. It is so nice. And I'm so proud of him for moving there. It's
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. And we have a new studio set up now. So
It's cute. I like it.
yeah, I was like, I didn't want to go because again, it was my day off and I'm like, I just want to like rot in bed and I've had a bad few weeks. So I'm like, I just want to chill out. But I pushed through and went, and I wouldn't say it made me feel like better overall in life, but I was happy I went. And like now him and I have so much work to do. Like one day at the studio creates a lot of days of work for us because we do a lot from home if it's just small fixes and ideas. So yeah, I would say it helped a little bit.
I just think it's always good to push, but then I think you do have to know, okay, but really still honor what your body is needing. And is your body needing that, or is it just you don't want to do something, right? It's like kind of that fine line, fine balance of like, okay, yeah, no, I do just want to like sit on the couch and stare at a wall. That's what one of my teachers I work with, I asked him what he was doing over the break and he's like staring at a wall. And I was like, I love that answer. Like, yeah. But it's like we're so burnt out by this point in the school year that it's like everyone just wants to stare at a wall, like, right? I don't want to do anything. I just want time for my hobbies. That's what I want. I have so many hobbies and so many things I love doing that I just want to have the week, just more time to do that in the week.
Yeah, I would love to have more time, like, and more money to do Pilates. I would love to go to Pilates classes and just
like with the reformer or just on the...
I really think the reformer looks cool.
It does look cool. It's just that one TikTok where that girl fell. Remember that one? She's got her knees on it and then she's pulling back or something and she literally just face plants. Like I saw that and I was like, I would be the one that would do that 100%.
I think Pilates really appeals to me because it's quite similar to how you train and dance. And that's why it is funny how people knock like Pilates and stuff, because the most toned I ever was when I was in ballet and jazz. Like the way dance and Pilates sculpts you is so nice.
Well, it's all strength
depending
training,
on what you want to do. I mean, you do you. Train however you want.
But that's what they always say. Strength training is the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be nice. But I think most of my 20s, I've just been creative and lived off vibes. And now that I'm actually working, it's like almost all I've thought about all day is that I have to go back tomorrow.
And I keep telling her, it's your day off. Like, don't waste your day off like that. Like, you have to push through of just like, this is my day off. This is my plan.
I was like, I know. But when I'm at my performing job, I never think like this. Like, I don't dread going to work the next day or even think about it. It just is what it is. And I swear on my life, 10 days in a row at my performing job. They've made that illegal now. You can only do 8 is the new policy. But in my time, you could do 10 in a row. And I would still feel like fine by day 10. Like maybe I was on the verge of getting tired, but still fine. Yeah. I would say 2 to 3 days at my job now, and I'm exhausted mentally. Not really physically, just mentally.
I think too, because it's like your how do I say this nicely? Like you're not a huge fan of people.
Oh, I'm a really introverted person, and talking to people all day is exhausting.
And like if they're upset over $4 or something, like or they're not nice to you or something along those lines, you have a really hard time like shaking it, right?
Not anymore. I'll come home and vent, but it doesn't upset me like it used to. Right. Not like when I was working in restaurants when I was younger. Or like the gym.
Or just drains you.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like rude people, I'm kind of getting used to it now. I'm like, but the problem is I have trouble like holding in my feelings.
Yeah.
Like, some customer service people just have a better skill at like being like, oh, I'm so sorry that you feel this way. Like, what can we do to help? I'm just like, I just stare at them or I don't say anything. Like, I don't know what to do.
It's funny because I think everybody has a bit of that. Like, I remember at work, there was a girl who, she didn't mind if kids hit her and stuff. And I had a really hard time with it. Like, I would come home and I would be really upset. Even if they talk mean to me, I was like, and I know they're kids, but I still didn't want to be called half the stuff they were saying to me. And it just fell off her like water. Like, did not care at all. Did not take it home with her, whatever. So everyone is built very differently. And I think you have to do the job that is going to bring out the best in you, right?
Yeah.
Or not the best,
I just
but you know what I mean.
Introverted jobs. Or like performing is kind of introverted because you only have to interact with your cast members. I'm not talking to the public.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where I get really drained and tired. And like, even if everybody is lovely and nice for a whole day of work, I'm still exhausted. Yeah. I just really find people tiring.
Well, it's just all the energies coming in too of your
Yeah.
job, right? Like it's all the people that come in and buy the things, right?
Yeah, and I used to be way more of a grinder, and now like I still am, but I'm like I just want to like have a garden and read books and be in nature all day. I don't know.
My
I'm
goal is
tired.
to be Pamela Anderson. Anyone's ever seen her show, but she was like renovating her place in BC. She lives on the island, Van Island, and she is just has a garden and these rescue dogs, and she makes bread. And I'm like, this is all I want in life. Like that's all I want. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't need. It doesn't even need to be a fancy house, and hers isn't super fancy either. But I'm like that's what I want. So that's
agree.
my goal.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah.
That's what I want in life.
Yeah. Just want some dogs and bake some sourdough bread. And that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, speaking of dogs, we should tell the story of we have this thing where every time we go to Shoppers Drug Mart, which is, if you don't know, is like your CVS in America or like Boots in the UK, just a drugstore. And every time we go there, we always just end up having the funniest experience. And
It's
I don't know
just
what
chaotic.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and it's not when I go alone. It's very normal. It's only when we go together. So this one day, I was like, okay, we need to go to the store for something, and I want you to come. So she picks me up, and I get in the car, and it's like, at first I thought she was listening to a meditation, because it was like, you are not your grief. You are so much stronger than all of this, and grief is not linear. And it was like, what the heck is this? And then as it keeps going, it's like, nothing and no one can replace your love of your pet. And I was like, wait a second. You're listening to a pet grief book. But
Yes.
the best part is that it was on the concluding chapter. So it was like summarizing all the points at once.
Yeah. So it did sound extra crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And she gets in the car, and I should have known. But for some reason, I thought it was going to be done. I only had like 5 minutes left. And then I kind of was like pulled in the driveway. She was waiting for me. So it's not like I had time to like find my phone and turn it off or whatever. So I was just like, it's fine. She won't, like, it's fine. And this one just loses it. And I'm like, and then I'm driving and I'm laughing so hard because I know it sounds crazy. I was doing this by myself, obviously. I didn't tell anyone I was listening to this book. And so I'm driving and I can't even see. I'm laughing so hard. I have like tears in my eyes. I'm just laughing so hard, which is exactly what I needed. I just needed a little laugh.
Yeah,
Listen,
that probably healed you more than.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was a hard one, man. Anyone who's lost their dog, I had no idea. I literally thought it was going to be like sad. Sure, that's tough. And again, it's not linear like the book said. It's like you're going to have good days, bad days. Anyways, we died. But there is something about Shoppers.
It was when you were driving and I can't see.
I couldn't see. Like I was like you know when you laugh so hard, your eyes are like you can't even open them.
I was like, pull over. Like that's so
like
dangerous.
I can't even do that.
But yeah, obviously I'm not being serious. It's good she's listening to that book, because someone's gonna clip this and be like, in the future when we're famous, and be like, Mega's so toxic. She's not supporting her mom's healing. No, you know how people are.
I know.
She knows I'm joking, and she was laughing along with me.
I was laughing along because it did. When the moment she came in, it was like the craziest
It was
part.
so woo woo. Like it was out there, man.
It
I
was.
like,
It
what
was.
is this? I'm so glad it was the concluding chapter, because that was what made it so funny. But yeah, it is every time we go to Shoppers. And then one time, it actually is not really that funny, like at all. But one time we were at the self checkout in Shoppers, and she scanned something, and for some reason it scanned like 3 or 4 more times. It just kept going like boop, beep, 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 beep. And it was like, oh my god, and we were laughing so hard, and then she started farting. Like she just kept farting, but they kept like slipping out
because I was laughing so hard I couldn't clench or whatever, and I didn't even know I had to fart. So I didn't know, and then I'm laughing so hard, and then once one came out, I couldn't stop laughing, so they just started going like they just started coming out, and there's like people in the line.
There
like
was
there's
a whole line of people like
Oh,
a
God.
meter away, and
Yeah.
she just kept farting.
I know, and then we just couldn't stop laughing because we were like we just couldn't stop.
And we always go in like
God.
pajamas and
We
like,
always look
hair in a
super
bun,
rough,
and then
like, we're
it's
just-
like she's just there farting at the self checkout. It's so funny. And then it's
Oh
like
my
when you tell it to people, it's not that funny, but
Oh, come
It
on. If people
is.
don't find that funny, that is so funny. Like, just picture yourself in shot. Picture yourself watching these two
yeah.
of us in a line, and we're literally almost on the ground. We're laughing so hard. We're like dying. And then the older one's just farting the whole time because apparently I've lost all control of my bowels.
Like, that's so random
I know.
and funny. Oh my god. And that's like
Oh, yeah.
another time we went recently, we had probably the most snow I've seen since I was a kid. Like I would say easily in 15 years.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot. It was a lot.
It was at the point where like chairs in our backyard were almost completely submerged.
You couldn't even see when you pulled out of our drive. Or
No.
no one could see pulling out of a driveway. You couldn't see because the snowbanks were so high.
Yeah, like they were taller than me. It's not that hard to be taller than me, I guess, because I'm 5 feet tall. But that's still really tall for a snowbank. Just on the side
and
of
it
your
happened in
street.
like 5 days.
Yeah.
And they closed the schools, which I have worked in a school board for over 20 years, and they've never shut the schools down ever.
Yeah, it's always like snow day.
Unless it was COVID. I say that, but like COVID, yes, not for a inclement weather day.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then I was just like, but I really need eyeliner. I think I wanted to film a YouTube video, and my eyeliner was completely dried out. I could not use it. So we literally like crawled over these snowbanks, walked all the way to Shoppers.
Yeah.
And did we have a crazy experience? We did.
Well, I think just getting there was crazy enough. Like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like no one was out. Like
No, and then we were like, let's go get our nails done now.
Like we were just there and so when we left here, we were thinking we're just going to Shoppers and coming back. So like no makeup, just like whatever, rough clothes. And then we're there and we're both like, God, we really need our nails done. And so I called them and they're like, you can come right now, obviously, because no one's out in this weather. So come right now. So we just pop on over.
Yeah.
And no
Our
one
nails
knew where
looked
I
great.
didn't even have my phone on me because I thought we were just going to walk. I'm like, I don't even need my phone. So
No.
I guess everyone in the house got up and there's like my phone's there. Like it just looks so random. All the cars are here.
All
like
the
where
cars are here,
is
and
she?
you wouldn't think that we were walking. You wouldn't think that
No.
that was an option because there was like nowhere to walk.
No.
We were walking on the road because the sidewalks were just so horrific that the road was honestly better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, no one was out. So it was totally safe because no one's out driving in it except us. We're out walking in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something else. It's always Shoppers.
So Shoppers.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a normal experience now that we've said it.
Well, we just said 3 stories. So maybe
Yeah.
that was it. Maybe that's our 3 stories and we're done.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see. Okay. Well, I think that was.
You
Oh,
don't
we
wanna
have
do
a few questions.
I
Some
can't
would
even
you
see
rather's.
now.
I don't. I can't see.
I can't see.
I don't know these questions, so
Okay,
ask them.
I'm gonna ask you. Okay, discover the truth about your past or gain insight into your future.
what do I need to discover in the past?
I don't know, man.
The truth about the past?
Yeah, about your past. I don't know. It's just what it says.
I think I know the truth about that. So
So you're good.
maybe the future.
Okay.
But only if it's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything bad.
Okay. Have the ability to change one decision in your life or be able to see the outcome of one decision you're currently facing. So change one decision in your life, like I guess again past.
I think changing is too risky.
Yeah, because you don't know the domino effect of that, right?
Yeah. You have to answer them too.
I'm the same as you. I definitely would choose outcome of decision I'm facing 100%
Yeah.
right now. Yes. Okay. This is a really good one. This will be maybe our last one. Okay. No, sorry. 2 more. This one will be easier, but be known for your intelligence or your kindness.
Kindness.
Me
I'm not
too.
intelligent
Me
enough to be
either.
remembered for my intelligence.
No, me
I'm
either.
like creative and nice, but I'm not like
No, I go to my
rocket
book club
scientist.
and I am by far the dumbest one there. So half the time I don't want to say a lot, but they're all really sweet. It's nice. It's just sometimes, yeah, like I am definitely the dumbest one there, but I'm okay because I bring other things. I bring vibes.
in wine.
I bring wine and vibes, and I'm the life of the party usually. So, okay, last one. Spend your year living your life as someone else or spend a year in complete solitude to reflect on yourself.
That one. Except I don't even need to reflect. I feel like I do that enough. I just want to be in silence. I think about just going to a remote cottage with like a fireplace, nature, some water nearby that I can hear, like a little river.
Yeah.
And just chillaxing. What was the first one?
It was
be someone else.
Be someone else.
It would be kind of fun to be like Billie Eilish or something and experience like
just for 1 year,
concerts and fame. But then you also just don't know what their life is like in their personal life. So I don't know if I would want to be her, you know?
Yeah. No, it is risky.
Or you could be like an astronaut or something cool.
No,
for a year.
I don't want to do that. I like being on Earth. I don't want to be in space. I like Earth. Yeah, like I know I'm thinking that like how fun would it be to be like Taylor Swift for a year while she was doing the Eras tour? Like
that would be fun.
That would be really fun just to have like that many people that you've just brought joy to and, you know, get to make out with Travis. Like, I don't know. It'd be kind of fun. But I think I'd still pick Year by myself.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was one question I sent my friend and I sent to him and it said, he sent it to me and he said, the question was, would you go to an island and all you have is like books and like you have everything you need, but you don't have internet, you don't have a phone, you don't have a TV, and they'll pay you like 50 grand. And I answered, I was like, I would do it for free and I could be packed in 5 minutes, like for free.
Literally, who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
It just sounds amazing.
I know people that wouldn't.
Couldn't be me. I wish I was someone that was recharged around people.
Yeah.
Like it's not really a fun quality to be an introvert.
No. I think you're in the middle though, don't you?
Yeah, like I like going out with my friends and stuff. I don't feel drained after being around them.
No. That's the way I always say I feel like I'm in the middle. Like I feel like I'm introvert extrovert.
Hopefully you can't just hear that. You didn't just hear that furnace come on.
I think it's the water heater.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but honestly, in my defense, Dad was like, I'm not even an introvert and I find customer service exhausting. He's like, the worst job I had was in retail.
Yeah.
So
no, it is hard. It's not not everyone's built for it. So
no.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah, but those were good questions.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for listening and watching. We will be definitely doing more of this because now we have a proper setup and
she's got a schedule. So we're going to work in that schedule.
Yes, we will. But you can subscribe if you're on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. I think I was working on getting us on Apple. I'm not sure if I did get us on Apple Podcasts yet, but you can leave us a comment if you're on YouTube. Let us know what you want to see next.
Yes.
And we will see you next time. Bye.